Okay, so how'd you do on the last assignment? Were you able to correct the gray bar on the window and set up a new subclass for TM credentials window? Well, I'll show you what I did to correct the window, and then I'll go ahead and walk through creating the TM credentials window. So I'm going to open up the main menu nib, and I'm going to select on the main window here. And what I did was select the text view. I went over to my size inspector, and I came over to the Y coordinate, and it was at 33, so I changed it to 32. And the height was 92, so I changed that to 93. And that's all I did to fix that issue. Now let's go back to Xcode and add those other files. So I'm going to go over to Classes. I'm going to right mouse click, choose Add, New File. I'm going to double click on Objective-C class. And this one is called TM Credentials Window. Hit Return to finish. And just like with the TM main window, the first thing I'll change is NSObject to NSWindow. I'll save that. And I'm going to go over to TM main window, and I'm just going to highlight all of this code that's in the method here. I'm going to copy that, go to TM credentials window, and paste. And that's all I need to do in my class file. So I'll save that, go back to Interface Builder. I'm going to choose the window. Over in the inspector, choose the identity, and I'm going to change this to TM credentials window. I'll save that. Now I also did one other thing. I moved down the cancel and the submit buttons just a little bit so that they would center up in that gray bar. Now for us to test this out right now, we need to go over to the attributes inspector, and we'll set visible at launch for this window here. And I'll save that. I'm going to go back to Xcode. I'm going to build and run. And this way we can see the window when it comes up. And we can see our gray bar is there. And if we come over to the main window, our gray bar is there as well. And I just think that looks really nice. So I'm going to quit that. I'm going to go back over to Interface Builder real quick. And just so I don't forget, I'll uncheck Visible at Launch. That may have seemed like a lot of work just to put that gray bar across the bottom of the window, and actually it is. We did all of this so you could see how to set up a subclass and attach that to your window. And the same methodology will work on any of the other views or any other subclassing. So I wanted you to understand how to do that and then how you would override some of the methods that are inside of that class. But there is a much easier way to do this. Let's go back to Xcode. If we copy this one line down here, I'm going to go over to the TwitterMe app delegate, and we already have a connection to our main window through the property and synthesize that's been done in the app delegate. So here we would add a method. I'm going to add the awake from nib method. And I'm going to paste that in. Instead of using self, since we haven't subclassed NSWindow here, this is just our application delegate, I'm going to put window. Now for the main window, this is all that we would need to do to get the same results that we got from subclassing. To do the same thing for the credentials window, we would need to create a connection from this application delegate to that window, and then we would do the same thing we've done here. Now for this training, I'm going to stick with the subclassing, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this for now. And go ahead and save that. I just wanted you to see that there is an easier way to do it, and you can talk to the window from any class that you have a connection to that window. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, I'm looking over here at our class files, and this is kind of getting a little messy. We don't even have that many class files, and this can get out of hand very quickly. So what I'm going to do is add a few groups under classes. So I'm going to select classes. I'm going to right mouse click, choose Add, and New Group. And the first group I like to create is called Controllers. Now our application only has one controller, but in larger applications, there will be many controllers. So let's go ahead and toggle this open and select TM main controller H, hold the Shift key down, and grab the M file as well. And I'm just going to drag these right under the controllers group and release. I'll toggle that one closed. I'm going to go back to classes. Let's say add new group again. And this one I'm going to call delegates. And here again, our application only has one delegate. That's okay. And we'll drag that up under delegates. Add another group. I'm going to call this one subclasses. And here we're going to add all 4 of our classes that we used to subclass the windows. And I'll close that. And there's one last group that we're going to add, and that one is going to be performers. Performers will be action classes. If our application was storing data, I'd also add a models group as well. And the last thing I'll do is just rearrange these. I'm going to drag the controllers to the top, because I spend most of my time there, and then performers, subclasses, and delegates. And I'll go ahead and toggle open the controllers. Now we have our GUI designed, we've got our subclassing out of the way, and now it's time to start writing some code so that our application will do something. And we'll begin that process in the next video.